Okay, so this is the color model of behaviors. And there are two key learning points here. One, all of human behavior is encapsulated within these four color energies. And two, each and every one of us uses all four of these color energies on a regular daily basis. But the thing is that through our life's experience, each one of us will have developed a preference for one of these color energies over the other three. So we'll each have a dominant, a secondary, a tertiary, and a least, and they're all just as important as each other. Any combination is possible. There is no right or wrong. There is no better or worse. The model itself is based on the psychology of Carl Jung, Swiss psychologist who in the first part of the 20th century said, look, we can understand people's behavior. We can actually measure different aspects of people's behavior. And he said that by far the most obvious difference between people was where they sit on the spectrum between introversion on one end, in this model represented by green and blue energies, and extroversion on the other, represented by red and yellow energies. Now, these words we're quite familiar with, and we tend to refer to them in terms of how people express their energies. We know that extroverts are louder. They tend to be more future-orientated, more active, tell stories, move their hands a lot, like dancing. Introverts, on the other hand, tend to demonstrate their energies in a more relaxed way. They're quieter, they're slightly more withdrawn, they are pensive, they are internal. But it's not only a question of how we express our energies, it's also where we get our energies from. Extroverts require a whole load of external stimuli in order to feel energized. They like to get their hands dirty. They want to be involved. They like meeting people, getting stuff done. Introverts, on the other hand, require space and time and quiet in order to feel energized. So this is a big difference. And of course, your preference might be slap bang in the middle. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But you can see immediately how people on one end might get slightly upset by people on the other. From an introvert's perspective, extroverts, too loud, too in your face, slightly overactive, annoying. From an extrovert's perspective, introverts, a little bit too quiet, lacking opinion, a little bit slow, annoying. But it's just a difference. There is no right or wrong. The second pair of preferences that Jung identified was how we go about making decisions. And again, here he identified a big difference between thinkers, represented by red and blue energies in this case, and by feelers, people with a preference for feeling, green and yellow energies. In terms of decision making, thinkers are very much in their heads. It's all about the task, logic, structure, correctness, measurability. I can show you my workings, I have the evidence, I know I'm right. Feelers, on the other hand, tend to make decisions based more on issues of the heart, relationships, who is going to be affected by this decision. It'll tend to be more of a gut decision maybe, but immeasurable notions of love, trust, loyalty, fairness enter into that decision-making process. It feels right. I know I'm correct. Again, you can understand how these might conflict. From a thinker's perspective, feelers just come across as slightly wishy-washy, a little bit too people-pleasing. And from a feeler's perspective, thinkers just impersonal, slightly intolerant, no sense of empathy. But there's no right or wrong. We're just different. So with this model and these preferences, we get these 4 color energies. Fiery red energy therefore represents extroverted thinking, hence the ET. And it tends to manifest in terms of people who come across as competitive, demanding, determined, strong-willed, purposeful. Extroverted thinking. So there's lots of energy. They get straight to the point. They're direct. They like a challenge. They set the bar high. They will get straight down to business. Come on, follow me. I like to take the lead. Is that your preferred energy? How about the sunshine yellow? This is extroverted feeling. So still lots of energy out there, but here with more of a relationship bias. So that sunshine yellow energy tends to come across as sociable, dynamic, demonstrative, enthusiastic and persuasive. And you can usually pick this up quite quickly. If not from the slightly smilier face, maybe from the tone of voice, which just goes up and down and just gets really excited about stuff. Because this yellow energy is about experimentation. It's about pushing the boundaries. It's about bouncing ideas off other people in order to find different ways of doing things. I get bored with routine. Come on, let's express ourselves and find joy in what we're doing. Is that you? How about this one? This is introverted feeling, the earth green energy. Introverted feeling. So again, still very much about the people, but just quieter. Tends to manifest as caring, encouraging, sharing, patient and relaxed. This green energy is softer. The tone of voice is warmer. The body language more relaxed, more inviting. Come on in. The water's lovely. This earth green energy is driven by a need for harmony. It really is naturally concerned for your welfare. It's expert at listening. And it's like oil on troubled waters. When both of those extroverted energies are kicking off as we reach month end, that green energy just takes a deep breath and reminds us of perhaps the importance of the quality of our relationships and the values that bind us together. Is that you? And then finally, we have introverted thinking, cool blue. That introverted thinking, again quiet, but this time back in the head. And it tends to come across as cautious, precise, deliberate, questioning, formal. That blue energy likes order. It likes structure. It requires detailed research. I become instantly interested in what's happening behind the current situation, such that I can understand it fully, get my ducks in a row in order to make the best decision for the moment. I don't necessarily like last-minute changes of plan. I don't even like actually being in this environment where there's lots of distraction and interruption. I'm much better at bringing my gifts to the fore when I am apart, when I can concentrate, when I can apply my expert planning brain to the situation in hand. Is that you? Ultimately, as I was saying, we are all 4 of these, and any combination is possible. What's yours? Perhaps just take a moment to think that through and write it down.